The US job market just took the ultimate hit. And I'm going to give you the numbers from May, June, and July so we can get a 3-month synopsis of what is really happening in the job market right now in the age of AI, in the age of global war, global famine incoming. You need to understand why Americans cannot get jobs and why they will continue to not be able to get jobs. I know that you remember 2022. Remember the tech bubble that was just explosive and everybody was doing tech sales and project management in tech and tech this and tech that. It seemed like the job market was on the up and ups with the launch of AI. I mean, coders, engineers, people, product managers, technical writers were having these W-2s, and sometimes they would do job stacking where they actually worked multiple W-2s at one time. But now it's 2026. And the 2026 job market looks a whole lot different. So in May, there were 172,000 jobs added, and that seems very good. I'm looking at the Department of Labor and Statistics for all of these numbers that you're about to hear. Then June, we were up 57,000. So that was a stark contrast from 172,000 to 57,000 jobs that were added. But if that sounds crazy, because it's already a third of jobs that were decimated from May to June, just imagine and look at July, because it was negative 23,000. June was actually the redo, the fine print, and that number they walked back when nobody was looking. I want you to listen to this again. It was not slow growth. It was not cooling off. It was negative. And that is not a wobble. That's a staircase. And this is not scalable in the current economy that we have. This is why the economists are coming out yelling and telling people, get out of the market. Some are even saying get out of America. And they're not diaspora people who are saying this. These are white Americans who are saying, hey, if you want to leave America, you probably should and choose somewhere like Denmark or Norway or somewhere with a more stable economy, a more stable cost of living, obviously, for those type of people who feel like they would resonate with those locations. But us as the diaspora, we are going out to Southern Africa, islands in the African Ocean, Asia. We are going all over the place because we know, we can feel that everything is about to collapse in the United States of America. And it's already starting. Now, 4 steps down in a row, each one is steeper than the last. And that is not noise. That's the overall direction, the downtrend that the US labor market is heading into. Now, I'm not going to come up here and scream, the sky is falling, because that's not what's happening. But here's what's going on. I don't want to lie to you for a headline. I also don't want to pretend that everything's fine. You need to understand that job openings dropped to 178,000 fewer in June, down 7.3 million. But hiring did not technically stop. People are still getting hired. Economists actually have a name for what this is. It's called slow hire, slow fire, aka stagnation. Think about it. The root word, stagnancy, where you're not moving. You're just settled right here in this area. You're not growing. You're not receding too badly. You're just stagnant. You're just stuck like a body of water that's accumulating mosquitoes. And that's the part that should scare you even more than a crash, quite honestly, because a crash is loud. A crash you can see coming, but the freeze, this is quiet. It's almost so subtle that you don't even notice it. But the more you talk to your friends, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, your nephews, your nieces, people will tell you, hey, I have a side business. I have a side bakery I had to open because I haven't had a job. I mean, this younger generation, 25 and under, a lot of them are coming out of college and they have not even had their first job out of college, or they have to go to Starbucks and become a barista. This is companies deciding one by one in silence that they do not need even one more person on payroll. They'll make with what they do. They said, this is enough. We also have AI, and we're just going to keep waiting through this stagnation phase. And that'll let the job postings sit open for another 6 weeks instead of hiring anybody. And if August looks like July and September looks like August, what happens to your job? The one you didn't build, the one somebody else can end with one email that you get on a Friday morning saying, Mrs. So-and-so, we are reluctant to tell you that we have to let you go because the entire product marketing team has been maneuvered to another area, or because we just don't have the budget to keep you on payroll. Pause. See, I know that you have been looking up how to generate income online, how to make money online. You need an extra 5K, 9K per month, whatever it is. And you know AI can do a lot of things. Now, I'm a 10-year entrepreneur. I own a retention marketing firm, and I have worked with some of the biggest clients that exist, not only within Black-owned businesses, but now also Fortune 500 companies. But I would love to teach you to do the same thing. I mean, come here. As long as you keep this quiet, I will give you my secrets. 15 different innovative AI business models that you can use. Thinking about working with dentists, plumbers, electricians, body care, supplements, tech companies, social media companies as well. Visit the link in the description for the State of the Diaspora Business Intel. If you are the diaspora and you want to be mobile with your money, this is the edition for you. Your ticket is $100. See you there. At the end of the day, you are not even in control of such a situation or a narrative like this because you didn't feel it while the number was down 172,000. You feel it now in that moment that's going to come 6 to 8 weeks from now when additional people are getting fired. I mean, remember the federal layoffs of 2025. It hit the market hard and everybody was so afraid because we were told growing up that federal jobs, especially in the Black community, would always be around. That if you had a federal job, if you were a social worker, if you were a psychologist working for the government, then you were covered. You would never be out of work, and you could use your degrees that were in sociology, psychology, business administration. You would have that government pension. You would have daddy government right there for you to give you everything that you needed. But the rug was swept under your feet when Trump got into office. Then we had the letting go during diversity, equity, and inclusion because, again, around 2022, 2020, they hired a lot of people for DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion in tech and finance and healthcare and education technology and HR and everything. But then they also let all of those people go. They also let white women go as well because they were part of diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? But nowadays, these people don't have these jobs. Nowadays, people don't even have banking jobs because the AI can be the customer service bank teller. The AI can do all of that. And so the only solution that you actually have left is to start an online business, is to become some type of creator. You can talk about HR, you can talk about finance, you can talk about your 15 to 20 years of experience, but please make sure that you are publishing on a platform that will get you paid. And yes, it's going to be boring and scary starting out. Yes, it's going to feel uncomfortable. Yes, it's going to be the type of thing where you're like, how did I even get here? In the old market, I would have had my job forever and my pension. In the new market, they take my pension as well as my job and just give me a letter and say, all right, have a good life. But you don't have to be stuck. You can start your business today. You can start your business in uncomfortability and reap the benefits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the line like I have, because I started my business in 2016 as a marketing specialist. I started out as a freelance writer, writing for, you won't even believe it, furniture companies, so fun, receiving checks in the mail, but I've now built it to a global empire of high ticket marketing contracts with the top tech firms that are available in this world. Serving people one-to-one in my coaching accelerator, undeniable. Serving consultants and serving big businesses. And you can do the same thing too, because at the end of the day, there is somebody that's willing to pay for your experience. And it used to be that if you had more tenure, 15, 20 years, then you would be the obvious hire. But entrepreneurship is so much different because let me tell you, I was in a virtual room, bidding for contracts last week. And I have 10 years experience, but there's another lady there. She had to be maybe 40s, late 40s. She had 15, almost 20 years of experience as the vice president of marketing. She worked at the same corporation for decades, years and years, and she just did that route that everybody takes. But I'm a business owner, so I don't work with just one business. I've worked with over 257 different companies and counting in e-commerce, real estate, finance, wellness, construction, all different types of industries. And so when it came time to place our bids for the contract, to submit our proposals and to submit what we wanted to do for that contract for our businesses, this lady didn't have the opportunity to do it. They gave the opportunity to me, the owner of a retention marketing firm that has sold to clients all over the globe and also lives in Mauritius, Africa. See, in the old way of doing things, The lady with the 15 to 20 years tenure, vice president of marketing, would have been the obvious go-to. But there were two things that I had that she didn't have. One, I'm quicker. So I bid quickly. I'm very competitive. I bid quickly and I'm very confident. So I show up and I show up great. I don't show up lackadaisical. I show up and bring 110% to the marketplace. And then the second thing that I had, along with my quickness and ability to bid quickly and get started, was my experience. My 10 years of experience, they wanted as a corporation more than her 15 to 20 years because I had the variability. I wasn't just trapped at one business being the vice president of marketing for 15 to 20 years. No, I had industry experience across different industries, across different verticals, across marketing, HR, and sales. And so now it's that the younger generation or millennials that have experience, that have been freelancing, that have been consulting with a multitude of different clients and have been partnershiped and have been placed in certain places. For example, I'm the top 1% of marketers on Marketer Hire. They see these things and they say, this is the person I want. I don't want the person that has too much experience, but does not know how to come to market and build a portfolio. This is what I want you to take away from this story that just happened last week. Your skills, your hustle, your experience, your ability to come to the market and solve somebody's problem in an instant with the snap of a finger is going to get you paid directly, invoices, not W-2s. It's going to get you paid in a way that no middleman, no headcount review, and no vice president deciding whether or not they want to work with you in a budget is even going to take place. A business you build is not immune to a slowdown. Nothing is immune. Let's be honest about that too. But it is yours. Nobody revises you down in a footnote. Nobody freezes your growth because of some spreadsheet and corporate politics. You are not a line item anymore when you're an entrepreneur, a consultant coming into these corporations. You are the one making decisions, and they are taking your leadership process. I'm not telling you America crashed in July. I'm telling you the direction is changing sharply. And if you do not understand this direction within the next 60 to 90 days, I can guarantee you will be left behind without a job, depending on universal basic income. And I want you to watch what's going to happen next. But I'm not going to tell you to just watch and wait. Here's what I'm telling you. You need to build while you watch, no matter how uncomfortable it is, because remember that story I was telling you just last week. I mean, the doubt can come in like, oh, she has 20 years experience, but I still submitted my proposal and literally got paid for it. I still put myself out there because you have to have this confidence that's just kind of unshakable. When you're an entrepreneur, when you're in business, it's so helpful to get coaching and consulting from somebody whose faith and confidence you can borrow. Because as a beginner 10 years ago, I didn't have this level of confidence. I had to borrow it from my coach and my consultant. And so I'm extending that same rod to you. I'm extending that same life jacket that you can borrow my confidence, because my clients, they come out confident as ever before. I mean, I've had clients that literally have traveled through Africa, but ended up getting residence in places like Botswana based on the work we did together in Black Educators Amplified, our retired program. Education consultants, project managers, information technology, even travel nurses and doctors have been some of my clients that go online and they either start getting brand sponsorships or they bring a high ticket product to market based on their experience. This is a market that you need to be in because you can expand the thing. Take the skills sitting in you, doing nothing but collecting a paycheck that could, by the way, disappear into somebody else's timeline, and put it to something that answers you. Put it to something that's going to get you residency outside of the United States of America. The staircase is still going down. The only way off of it is your own door. Again, that is it for this video. Check out the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics Employment Situation Summary for July 2026 and June 2026, the JOLTS report, and I'll see you in the next video. Check out the link in the description to see how you can work with me and become the next global advisor that corporations are begging to pay top dollars to. Also, binge, the Mauritius Africa playlist, binge the Black Educators Amplified playlist, binge the Introvert Marketer playlist as well, because that is going to tell you everything you need to know about starting your own online consultancy, even if you feel like you're not ready yet.